Hello everybody, and welcome to a Throne of Eldraine draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out, and I truly appreciate everyone that does that. If you would like to catch the stream live, you can find that on twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. Be sure to follow so you don't miss any of the action, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you don't want to miss any future videos, and click that bell to get notified when I do post future videos. If you want to give back to the channel directly, you can do so via the Patreon. Patreon.com/NicolaiBolas is the place to go. You can choose any amount per month, and it really is flexible. You can cancel at any time. One new thing that I just posted over there for all patrons at any level is my complete card-by-card tier list for Throne of Eldraine. So if you want to see my thoughts on every single card, be able to compare the cards across colors, be sure to go over to the Patreon, check that out, support the channel, and get access to bonus content at the same time. But without further ado, let's dive into this pack. So honestly, I think this is just a very clear Epic Downfall. It's just a very strong removal spell. Fae of Wishes is like very medium, kind of like Slow Dirtily, but Epic Downfall, just super efficient removal, very powerful card, and I'm really happy taking that first pick here. Next would probably be Turn into a Pumpkin. And following up Epic Downfall, so the rare is missing out of this pack, so we can't get a huge signal point here. But this pack is actually absurd in terms of black cards. It has the number 1 black common, the number 2 black common, and another Epic Downfall, which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it. Epic Downfall is going to be my pick here just because it's so wildly efficient, even though I am passing 2 black cards, and they are the best 2 cards in the pack. So the person to my left and the person after them might even move into black, which could be tricky for me pack 2, but it's looking like black is going to be relatively open pack 1 at least, or at least hopefully. After the Epic Downfall, I would take Bacon to a Pie, and after that I would take Reeve Soul. But Epic Downfall is just so good. Like, most of the time you want to use your removal on the expensive creatures, and 3 or greater is not a huge, like, downside. And exiling can actually be relevant against cards like Barrow Witches that get cards back from the graveyard. I don't know. I'm pretty happy to get another Epic Downfall. Pick 3 here. This is interesting. So we have several pretty good options. I think Circara the Bold is a clear frontrunner in this pack. This card is just fantastic. It does everything you want to do with your red cards, and like everything you want to do in a card, not necessarily your red cards, but it gives you card advantage. It is a knight. It can kind of win you the game on its own if it sticks around, and pinging can actually be quite relevant because there are a lot of X1s. X1s like Rimrock Knight, X1s like Tome Raider just running around. I think Giant Opportunity is another pretty good card. Not something that I'm going to be taking here because it does require a bit more setup, though Black-Green is a pretty good archetype for Giant Opportunity to thrive. I think I'd rather just stay more flexible, take the Circara here, and just take the best cards in the pack. Charmed Sleep is another card that's pretty good, but I think Circara is just significantly better. I think I go Circara here, then Giant Opportunity, and then probably Charmed Sleep, and then probably I would take Lost Legion over Rimrock Knight just to keep extra flexibility. Okay, so pick 4. Another very obvious pick here, just taking the Reeve Soul. We're going to get very deep into black here, which is going to leave us flexible on our second color. I think Once in Future is good, but only really if you are a heavy green deck, because getting Adamant on this card versus not getting Adamant on this card is actually a huge deal. The difference between getting back 2 cards and getting back 1 card means that this card is, rather than 2-for-1, is only like a 1-for-1 with some extra card selection added in. Reeve Soul is actually very powerful. Gets you a straight-up kill spell. It also kind of works well with Epic Downfall because you can Reeve Soul the things that you sometimes can't Epic Downfall. I'm also happy to see Malevolent Noble in this pack because that's another strong black card, though it is a little bit unfortunate that I'm probably putting the guy to my left in black, so I'll have to figure out pack 2 what he's not playing. Fairy Guidemother is a pretty good card as well, and I think Tome Raider is probably overrated. It's not as good as it looks. Okay, pick 5 here. So we are by no means committed to any color combination except black. We're going to be playing black guaranteed at this point. We just have 3 really powerful black cards. Castle Garenbrig may not be like super exceptional as compared to the other ones, but it is like still solid enough as a land. It's going to come untapped most of the time, and getting an extra mana can be surprisingly effective even later in the game. Tournament Grounds could leave me a little bit flexible if I was to take like some knights, and it can help like cast Circara, but I don't think the card is like insane or anything for me. There is a Barrow Witches, which I wouldn't mind picking up here. I do kind of want one copy of this in all of my black decks. Ogre Errant is probably a little bit better though. It's a knight that works with Circara, and just getting a nice little cheaper card. I don't know. It seems like a solid option. So this is the order I picked the cards in. I don't know. Barrow Witch is the type of card you want like one copy of if you're in a Knight's deck, and this deck is by no means like committed to being like too much. Like there's not insane stuff going on here yet. I mean, I'm mostly just get committed to black right now. Here, there's another interesting pick because Scalding Cauldron is a great removal spell. It's flexible. It's going to make it into my deck basically no matter what I do here. Merchant of the Veil, on the other hand, is a pretty powerful red card. And could have some synergy with other cards I end up picking up. I'm not a huge fan of Forever Young. Bargain doesn't really work as well in black-red. It's more of like a green-red card. I think we're just going to take this the Scalding Cauldron as like another removal spell. It's just very flexible, a card that I'm pretty happy to get, and having a copy of that is really nice. So let's just put the Scalding Cauldron in here. And now, it's looking like red is the second color that's the most open. We saw a lot of good black cards early, so I think black is probably open. And now we're seeing a Red Cap Raiders, which can be a very effective card in the right build. Embereth Paladin, Dwarven Mine, both signs that red could be open. I don't really see a reason to move into blue. I'm not a huge fan of Steel Gaze Griffin, so I think we'll just take the Red Cap Raiders. I think this card's a little bit better than Embereth Paladin, especially if we end up being like red with a little bit of black for these removal spells, which could end up being the case. And now late Rimrock Knight, and also a late Searing Barrage, and a late Malevolent Noble. So this is kind of an interesting spot, because basically it's looking like red is going to be quite open, potentially. And in a red deck, I would rather have like a Searing Barrage, but if my deck ends up being heavier black with more of a splash for red, heavier black with more of a splash for red, then I'd rather just have the Malevolent Noble. I think Malevolent Noble is better than Rimrock Knight, because being able to block is a huge upside, and my deck isn't looking all that aggressive. Searing Barrage is just another removal spell, kind of expensive. I think we're just going to take the Malevolent Noble and get a nice little cheap creature. And now there's a Thrill of Possibility, could potentially be useful, or I could just take a Red Cap Raiders. I kind of have a lot of humans, so I'm not thinking Red Cap Raiders is looking all that good in my deck. So I think I'm just going to take Thrill of Possibility and leave myself relatively open. And now there's a 7 Dwarves. I'll speculate on the first copy of that over a Fairy Guide Mother. It's looking like maybe I should have taken the Rimrock Knights. Embereth Paladin, a nice little pickup. This is a late Flutterfox, but we're just going to be a heavy red deck, it looks like. Blow Your House Down can do good work. I don't really want to take Henge Walker because I am going to have a decent amount of black sources. And now Weaselback Red Cap. So we have kind of settled in. We're going to be a heavy red deck splashing black for some removal spells, which means that this Malevolent Noble pick didn't end up working out that well. But all we missed out on was a Rimrock, which could be important, but probably not unbelievably so. So I'm liking where I'm at right now. I would like some more 2-drops. I could still just play the Malevolent Noble, but I really, in my decks, I almost always want to have a 10-7 mana base or something, which this deck can definitely support with just the 3 removal spells being the black cards. In that way, taking a Epic Downfall over a Bacon to a Pie is also a nice little upside. Okay, so Sir Conrad the Grim is a very strong uncommon. This card can just do so much damage when left unchecked, and it's just really annoying. Hopefully we can maybe wheel this 7 Dwarves. Stolen by the Fae is another really powerful card, but with all these really good cards already, and red looking incredibly open pack 1, I think that we're going to be better served. Am I drafting against boss? No, this is real people, Sir James. This is on Magic Online. I think Sir Conrad is just going to be the best pick, and we might have to go with more of a balanced mana base, which I don't love, but considering that we then get to play the Malevolent Noble, we might not have to commit to being as heavy of a red deck. I think Sir Conrad is just the best card in this pack by a decent margin, and then we hopefully wheel the 7 Dwarves. I'm not entirely sure, but we did get a pretty late 7 Dwarves last pack, and Sir Conrad is a very good payoff. This is another interesting pick. There is a Lock Dragon, which I really do like, and could be the pick here just because it's so powerful as just a card, like a, just a 4 mana 3/2 that can start rummaging away your cards is really good. I already have a couple 4-drops, and I can't really play Embereth Paladin if I'm not heavy red. So maybe I still just stick with my 10-7 mana base that I'm planning in my head. I could take Joust. I do have 1 knight, 2 knights, which that knight works particularly well with it, 3 knights, 4, 5 knights already. Joust could just be a solid enough removal spell. There's also Barrow Witches as a solid grindy option. I think we're just going to take Joust, though. I'm probably going to get a decent number of knights here. And now there's a Smitten Swordmaster. Yeah, sure, we'll take Smitten Swordmaster. There's not really a ton else going on in this pack for me. There's a Blow Your House Down. And then there's just some cards that are kind of off color, but looks like we're just going to be more of a 2-color deck, which is interesting. It's one of those decks that you don't always try to go for. I'm just going to take Jousting Dummy here. Easy to cast 2-drop. It's a knight to work with some of my other cards. Not looking... I mean, Redcap Raiders is probably going to be solid in my deck. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to play Embereth Paladin. But other than that, I'm just going to try and avoid the cards that only reward you for being heavy a color. Probably not going to play Thrill in this deck. But yeah, Jousting Dummy is just a solid enough knight. Hopefully we can get at least 1 Barrow Witches to come back. This is an interesting deck because I'm not trying to commit super heavily to one color. I'm more just trying to take the best cards and build a 2-color deck out of them, which is a spot that I don't normally find myself in. I'm usually trying to just be super heavy one color. But the fact that we opened a Sir Conrad, have a couple of black 2-drops as well as our red 2-drop, means that we kind of are just going to be a 2-color deck like a normal limited deck, which isn't generally where I like to be in this format, but I think it could work out fine. Here there's a Tournament Grounds, which could help me cast my knights, so it taps to help cast Sir Kara or Sir Conrad. This knight, but the Weaselback. So it's kind of an interesting option to just take Tournament Grounds here. There's also another Jousting Dummy or just a Scalding Cauldron. I think I'm just going to take the Cauldron, though. Just solid enough removal spell, and you pretty much always are fine to have that. I'm not going to prioritize Searing Barrage when I'm not going to be heavy red. And Steel Claw Lance is a fantastic pickup for this deck. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Pack 1 pick 1 was Epic Downfall, and then Pack 1 pick 2 was Epic Downfall. Then Pack 1 pick 3 was Sir Kara, and then Reef Soul. But yeah, Steel Claw Lance is fantastic. Maybe we can even get back this Weaselback Redcap. Yeah, pretty happy with this pickup. This Lance is just unbelievable, especially because I have so many knights. So this deck is looking quite powerful. Embereth Paladin not really going to make the deck. Now there's Blow Your House Down. There is a... So this is interesting. Raging Redcap does work quite well with Steel Claw Lance and kind of with Barge in, but not really much else. I guess it works decently with Joust. But there's also just a Merchant of the Veil as a strong card on its own. It isn't a knight, but I think it's better than Raging Redcap by a decent margin. So we're just going to take the Merchant of the Veil here over Thrill as well. And now there's a Barge in. We don't really need another Barge in. I think we might just take Lash of Thorns as just to have that extra option, because we probably aren't going to play our Barge in. Though I guess we have some non-humans. Just it's only really good if you can enable it for some non-humans. I guess we'll just take Lash because we might end up with some more options then. Okay, 7 Dwarves did come back. We're definitely going to take that to get extra 2-drops. We already have a couple 3s. We don't really need all that many more. And having the second 7 Dwarves means that the third 7 Dwarves is a card I'm actively looking for. I think 7 Dwarves is probably playable with just 2, but you kind of want to have like 3 or 4 to make it good. And going into pack 3, only needing 1 is probably pretty decent. How many knights do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knights. So our Joust is looking okay. Our Smitten Swordmaster Drain ability is looking okay. Steel Claw Lance is looking pretty good. Here, there's nothing we really want, so I guess we'll just take a So Tiny so nobody else can play that against us. Redcap Raiders came back, sure. Yeah, Lash of Thrones works well with Menace and also with Double Strike, so that one Goblin Knight that we passed up on works pretty well with that. Wow, late Shepherd of the Flock, but we're not going to go that direction. And, okay. So our deck is looking pretty good. I think black is going to be very, very open pack 3, because pack 1 we saw all the black cards we wanted super early. Like, there's almost no way the person passing to us is in black, given the cards they passed us. And the people to our left might be in black, which is why we didn't see that much black that pack. Oh, nice. We opened it on color rare. This card is fantastic. I will note that I have committed to giving Revenge of Ravens at least a chance, like playing the card at least once. I'm still not convinced, but there's been a lot of people telling me that they've really enjoyed playing with this card, and so I'm going to try playing that card at least once. But Bone Crusher Giant on color rare. This card is fantastic. It's a shock that also becomes a 3-mana 4/3 that's really hard to kill, so pretty much always taking this card if you're red. And then after that, I would probably take the Revenge just to try it out. And then I'd probably take, after that, Weasel Cap. But yeah, Bone Crusher Giant, easy pick out of that pack. Huh. So, there's a Rampart Smasher, which is just a very, very powerful card. Not being able to be blocked by Knights is actually a huge upside. Then there's also just a Burning Yard Trainer, which can do a lot of work in the right Knights deck. Like, you can give your guy +2/+2. It's like attacking for the 5 mana power worth of 5 power trample on the turn. So it's like a charging monster. So light is a comparison people make. I think a more apt comparison that someone made was to the 5 mana 4/2 from Guilds of Ravnica, but it's slightly better than that because it is a relevant creature type. The 5 mana 4/2 Mentor Haste. Rampart Smasher is really good, but again, I'm going to be running probably 8 black source. I'm probably going to run a 9/8 mana base or a 10/7 mana base. So getting this down is going to be really tricky. So I think I might just take the Ogre Errant, actually. Honestly, Ogre Errant might just be better than Burning Yard Trainer. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Ogre Errant. I think it's just going to be more consistent. It's also cheaper. Huh. This is interesting. There's a Castle Lochthwain. I think this has just got to be the pick. It's so high upside to have the chance of like activating this late in the game. I already have 2 5-drops, which is one of the reasons why I strayed away from the Burning Yard Trainer, and I can also just play a normal mid-rangey game, and the 3/4 guy actually is really good in my deck because it works really well with Joust. It also works well with the Red Cap Raiders curving into that, and it also works well with Barge in. Castle Lochthwain's got to be the pick here over Barrow Witches, even though Barrow Witches would be decent in this deck. Castle Lochthwain just does so much here. And now Brimstone Trebuchet, I think, is the pick over Barrow Witches. I can't believe Castle Ardenvale is still in the pack. That card seems really good to me. Brimstone Trebuchet triggers off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards to do double pings, and then it just pings normally the rest of the time. Barrow Witches seems really good in my deck, though. Yeah, I'm just going to get Barrow Witches, because getting back Sir Conrad or getting back Sir Kara is really good. And now another Malevolent Noble. Really good pickup here. Huh. So one of the downsides of playing a deck like this is you can't really play the Witch's Cottage, because you just don't have enough swamps to make it work. We already have Barrow Witches and Castle Lochthwain to do similar roles. What else would we want here? We don't want Cauldron Familiar, that's for sure. Tempting Witch is not a card I'm interested in here. Thrill of Possibility we don't really want either. I guess we'll just take the Thrill, but we're not going to play it. And now there is a Barge in. We've seen some strong white cards, so maybe we could have been in a decent white deck, but we're just going to take the Barge in here. Wow, Grumgully being in the pack is unbelievable to me. Like, what the heck? This card is such a beating. We're just going to take the Raging Redcap, though I don't think we'll play it. The Weaselback came back. Burning Yard Trainer wheeled. Nice. That's good to know that that type of card comes back. I think we'll definitely take it over Merchant of the Veil. Though another 3-drop could be kind of nice. I think we'll just take the Night Payoff. I really want to try this card out as well. 4 5-drops for a 17-land deck is not the end of the world, especially because we only have 2 4-drops. And this is our full-on curve. We have a lot of 2s, a lot of early interaction. Sure, we'll just take this card. There's nothing really we want there. I think we're going to go with a 9/8 mana base here, because we do have a lot of early black cards. A lot of our red cards are just single red. and Castle Lochthwain being our... We could even go 10-8 because Castle Lochthwain is like a spell a lot of the time, and we do have a lot of mana costs. Decent way. I mean, I guess we don't have any really good mana sinks. We have Merchant of the Veil, and that's kind of it. Weaselback number 3. Weaselback, a red cap. I kind of wish that the Trebuchet had come back. Weaselback is really good with Steel Claw lands. It's just like you kind of have to deal with it because it hits you for 5 otherwise, like every turn. Yeah, I think we might want to go 10-8 because this is an 8th. And also just with 3 Weaselbacks. Though I think we'll probably end up cutting some of those. We might actually cut some of these red cap raiders too. Wow, late gingerbread cabin, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so I think 10-8 is a solid mana base for this deck. And then we probably want to cut Barge in. So let's see, any cards in this sideboard that we really want. We could play like a mono red deck, but it's getting rid of 2 Epic Downfalls. Reeve Soul, Sir Conrad just seems really bad, so we're not going to do that. Okay, what we will get rid of probably is this Merchant's questionable. Not super aggressive. It's not a knight. We already have decent mana sinks in the form of Weaselback. Probably cut 1 Weaselback as well. There's a land, so we'll take it out for the second. We don't really like Barge in here. We don't really want 7. How many 2-drops do we have? Let's just move our removal spells over here to just count just our creatures. I think we have to keep in the 7 dwarves even though they're not ideal. Just to have more 6 2-drops. The red cap raiders are looking questionable. Then there's Barrow Witches, Sir Conrad. Giving other knights menace could be quite good here. How many non-humans do we have for Barge in? This doesn't really strike me as the type of format where I would love to have combat tricks, because people are going to be playing around them so often. So let's just see. If I cut the Barge in, because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only have 8 creatures that will gain trample from it, which is a decent number, but it's only half my creatures after cutting these red cap raiders. I think I want to go 18 lands here, or at least I'll just go 17 lands probably. I can just go 9/8 mana base with a Castle Lochthwain as the 8th swamp. How's this looking? I kind of just want to cut the Weaselback for the Merchant of the Veil. But that card just doesn't have any synergy. But 2 Weaselbacks is probably more than enough. It's also a Thrill of Possibility, but that's probably just worse than Merchant. Red Cap Raiders versus Merchant is kind of close. Huh. I think this is a solid enough build. I really don't like Lash of Thorns unless you have like specifically like First Strike, Double Strike, or Menace, and I don't have a single Menace card in my deck except the Ogre Errant, which gives Menace, and I don't think Lash of Thorns is very good. Just because it gives only 1 toughness, so the creature's oftentimes going to trade anyway. I have to keep all my 2-drops. I want to keep these 4 1-drops, I think. Bone Crusher Giant's definitely in. Merchant of the Veil is kind of the sketchy card on the block here. Yeah, let's just go 9/8 mana base with this as our 8th swamp. Even though it's going to be hard to activate, we'll have to draw 2 other swamps. It's just, there's no real reason not to. Yep, this is the mana base I thought it would recommend and the one that I wanted. Sort by converted color. Let's just see. So yeah, we have a decent mix. So I think I'm fine with this mana base. We'll save the deck. Let's just do one last double check. Merchant is probably our most sketchy card. But we don't really want red cap raiders over Merchant, I don't think, in this deck. And then we don't want a third weasel back. So yeah, this is going to be the deck. I hope you enjoyed the deck building portion, and I'll see you for the matches. Hello and welcome to round 1. We did win the die roll because champions win die rolls. And we have a great hand here. A couple of creatures that can pump themselves. We have 1-drop into 2-drop into removal spell, maybe. And we do have 4 lands, so we kind of want to draw some action, but these creatures can be pumped, so we do have ways to spend our mana. Like if we whiff on turn 3, we can just spend turn 3 pumping our weasel back red cap, which is not the worst case, but it's not great. Oh, opponent also on the weasel back plan. Hello, weaselback. Let's play swamp, attack, weaselback into weaselback. Fine trade for us. We'll just get our 7 dwarves into play because it attacks slightly better. Like if they play another weasel cap here, this thing can attack, and where Jousting Dummy doesn't really want to. Okay. Aggressive trapped in a tower there. Also, I was literally about to say that if we draw a night payoff, this is the one that comes to mind, but Ogre Errant is another one. If we draw a night payoff, we'd rather they like trade off with 7 dwarves, and then we keep our Jousting Dummy around. Tap 3 for a spell. I dare you. Okay, that's actually really annoying. Shoot. This is tricky because I kind of want to kill this, but at the same time, they could just play something way better. But it does blank all of my attacks for like ever. Maybe that card's just better than I think it is. I think I've been thinking of it too low. I think I should play that card in my deck. Like honestly, just seeing it in play, it just kind of made it click for me. Like this card is like a 3-mana 2/3. I mean, it's like a 3-mana. I guess it's a 3-mana 2/2 with minor upside. But First Strike is a really good ability. Never mind, that card's much. You just saw my entire progression on the card. I'm back to where I started. Also, how the heck do they have a Velociraptor as their artwork there? Okay, give me a land. 7 dwarves. Okay. I respect it. Next turn we can hopefully get this Burning Yard trainer down. Also, the 7 dwarves being a 3/3 is kind of nice. So they can make a 1/1 with this thing. So I can do 2 to them with this. I'm just going to attack with that. Sure. I'm going to save my guys because I don't want to have to use my Burning Yard trainer. I'm just going to drain them for 2. I don't know. Maybe it would be better to play it, but land me. Ogre Errant is going to be really good with Burning Yard trainer. So I can give, the way this is going to work out is I can make it so that I can attack with both Weaselback and Jousting Dummy, because I can give the Jousting Dummy Menace and the Weaselback Rider +2/+2 and Trample. Or maybe it's just lethal if I give this guy Menace and this guy +2/+2 and Trample. I don't know. But either way, I think they were probably dead there. Okay, let's begin sideboarding. So they have that land, which is kind of annoying. Definitely don't want to bring in the Paladins. Redcap Raider's not looking excellent. Though Trample could be decent. Blow Your House Down, not looking like a good card here. Kind of just like this configuration. What seemed bad? They had the 1/2 double strike. They had the 1/1 making land. They had their own Weaselback Redcap. They had a Trapped in a Tower. Redcap Raiders does get better against Trapped in a Tower specifically, because then it's just always a 4/3. It's just always on. We kind of already punish it enough, though, with Malevolent Nobles. Yeah, let's just run it back. I love how Magic Online resizes the window every time. It's just pure joy. Oh, this is a great hand. We're going to have a 5/3 attacking on turn 3. This is definitely a situation where we don't want to trade off with our Weaselback Redcap. I love saying Weaselback Redcap. It just like rhymes, kind of. Like, not really. It's like one of those half rhymes, like Weaselback Redcap is not actually a rhyme, but it sounds like it should rhyme. And then it's just like, yeah. Okay, opponent, I see you. Oh, now we can even cast Conrad. Ah, so Conrad. I actually haven't played with Conrad yet, but from what I've heard, based from people I talk to a lot about Magic, it is a good card. Rimrock Knight cannot block. Well then, in that case we're just going to use Stomp to kill this. We'll do it on our turn to play around +2/+2. But since we can't even equip the Steel Claw Lance this turn, we might as well just get our absurd value while we can. Sorry about that. I had to... Okay. Okie doke. Let's just cast the Knight. And then next turn we'll go Steel Claw Lance plus equip maybe. Okay. We'll take 4. Okay, so that's a really good draw. So we're going to go this one, and then we're going to go Steel Claw Lance. Because now we can actually spend all of our mana. And attack for 7. Has to be the target of a spell. And then, like, Scalding Cauldron really threatens this Inspiring Veteran. Like, sure, they can hit us for 6 this turn. We go to 10. Maybe even take 4 more if they have a combat trick for this. But we're not going to die, and then we just kill a Veteran. This thing becomes useless again. So we can play 7 Dwarves plus crack the Scalding Cauldron. Oh, shoot. I really hope they don't have another one. That was a lot of damage. Okay. Let's just hit them for 4 and keep back this extra blocker. We would rather trade off the Weaselback because the Weaselback is inherently a small creature. Whereas this guy is much bigger. Like, this guy's like a 1/1, this guy's a 4/3. And we can move the equipment around later. Once we land Conrad, it's going to be tricky for them to come back. We're fine to trade our 1/1 for any of their potential combat tricks. Sure. Serkera the Bold. So we can make them potentially chump block. Yeah, I really like that play. So this costs 3 to equip, so we can go 3, equip it to this guy, attack, they have to chump block with their guy, and then we can play Weaselback and equip. And it's a pretty safe line too. Even though we have these really powerful 5-drops, making them chump block with Inspiring Captain is just so much value. It also makes this guy much less threatening. I guess it's not technically a chump, because we can't actually equip this thing if we want our dwarf to live. So we're just going to keep the dwarf around. Because if we move this over, this thing dies from the damage. Oh gosh. No, my gosh. Oh man, we got so punished. If we had moved it over, we would have won. Because this is 9 trample. Oh my gosh. Well, now that we know that I have that card, okay. Well, that was unfortunate for sure. Yeah, let's just run it back. That was unfortunate. I might have been able to avoid... I could have maybe avoided that. But I think keeping my guy around is really important a lot of the time. Especially because I was just planning on chumping the 1/2 if anything scary happened. It attacked me pretty much. But then the trample from Burning Yard Trainer really got me. Maybe just re-equipping is fine, because I've already traded off my 2/2 for the Inspiring Captain, and then I'm in fine shape even if they do have a kill spell or something. It's not like I didn't think about it. It just didn't seem correct. Okay, we will keep this hand. Actually a really good hand. Always turn 1 Weaselback, because Weaselback is Bay. Does opponent also have turn 1 Weaselback? They do not. Get wrecked. It is justice. We will just attack with our Weaselback. And then we will play our Smitten Swordmaster. Not worth waiting. Gosh darn it. That's actually really irritating. You know, Youthful Knight really wrecks us until we get our Serkera down. In which case, I don't know if they have removal for Serkera. Because Trapped in a Tower... Actually, Trapped in a Tower does do it. I really hope they don't have Trapped in a Tower. Because this thing just pinging down their guys seems really good to me. I guess I can't even attack. So maybe this was a bad play. I forgot that they can just tag team their double blocks. Because they can just double block this thing and take 3. I'm kind of just trying to bait out removal spells so Serkera can live, because if Serkera lives, he's going to kill all their guys. And I'm really afraid of trapped in a tower. Brimstone, okay. Brimstone. We're getting close. Oh my gosh, we're just going to go for it. Sometimes you just have to pray. Don't have trapped in a tower, please. I want to kill your youthful knight. Please don't kill my Serkera the Bold. Okay, I don't know the next line of that potential song, but I'm just hoping. Just hoping against all hope that Serkera can live to save the day. Duty and honor are reasons enough, but beating you will also be a pleasure. I agree. Beating Velociraptor Man will be a pleasure. Please work out. Oh. 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 We'll take 2. Because they know it's going to die. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Please don't kill Kara. Please don't kill Kara. Oh, they're playing a knight. Perfect. Oh, that's such a good draw. That's such a good draw because I can kill the red cap. Let's ping this first, because if they have a combat trick that they want to save it with. Oh my gosh, Serkera, you beast. I can just epic downfall this thing. I can also just attack with my 3 guys, my 2 weaselbacks. I don't really want to attack with them, though. I kind of want to just attack with Burning Yard and trade it for Brimstone. Like, that's a fine trade-off for me. Because I don't want to trade with Venerable Knight until after. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to trade off with Venerable Knight until after I've killed the Weaselback. Weaselback! Oh gosh, Serkera, you're such a house. It's just so brutal. Opponent's like really going to struggle to beat that. And this being lifelink is going to be pretty helpful too. Okay. We're probably going to epic downfall the Raging Redcap. We'll definitely take 2 here. Actually, we should have blocked. They were going to put the counter on the Wedge Redcap. So maybe they wouldn't have. We're just going to get rid of that. Yeah, that was a mistake. We should have just traded with this with our Smitten or something. That was a smart block from them, because otherwise I get to pump twice. As it is, I'm still in very good shape. Sure. So we get to draw an extra card now. This is a fine exchange for me. We gain some life. We get rid of their 3/2 for our 2/1. And if we ever draw the Ogre, we can just use Cercara to get that extra ping in. Ugh. I'm feeling good. Cercara has carried us this game. I can get the card with Cercara by attacking with it and giving it Menace, which is important to remember. And opponent scoops it up. They have seen enough. Hope you stay with me for round 2. Hello and welcome to round 2. And just like a champion, we win the die roll as always. No turn 1. Weaselback. Feels bad, man. This hand is decidedly sketchy, and I think it's a mulligan. Like, we have a 2-drop and 2 lands, but we can't cast all of our 2-drops. We have 2 5-drops. This is definitely a keep, though. We are going to ditch a Scalding Cauldron. This giant should be able to get us a nice little 2-for-1, hopefully. Thanks for letting me down, MTGObot. Not putting my YouTube link feels bad, man. Playing against a green deck. Epic Downfall should be pretty good, hopefully. Now, I think we want to use the Bone Crusher Giant here. Because we don't really want to use our deal 3 when we could use our deal 2. And also we want to be casting Bone Crusher Giant when we can. Like if they block, we can just shoot it. They are heavy green currently. Aw, man, nice. Respect. Well, now Epic Downfall is going to be good. Unfortunately, if we use Epic Downfall here, we will not have it for the Tree Folk. But the Tree Folk is coming in 2 turns. So until that thing comes, we will continue to attack them. And they do have to hit both lands. Thank you so much, Hamtaro-san, for the follow. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, opponent's going to be able to gain back the 6 life I deal to them here just because their lands are good. Which is really irritating. And they can just cast the Tree Folk because we have drawn all lands this game. Literally every draw has been a land. I'm not salty. You're salty. Wow, they didn't draw land. Nice. We'll just shoot that thing. Spell me, yes. Useless spell, gosh, darn it. Actually, it's not useless, we'll still play it. We'll take it. A 3/4 is a 3/4, no matter how small. And play our land so we can activate this Noble. Now tree folk isn't good enough. Boom! Barely getting there. The clutch Barrow Witches for no value. Oh, man. So they have a couple artifacts. So if I had a Shatter effect, I'd be really happy, but never have Shatter. I think Shatter effects are something I've always kind of wanted. Every single game I play, I'm like, oh, I wish I had a Shatter effect. I should think this is a fine configuration that I would currently have. They have a couple big guys, so I'll have to save my epic downfalls if I can. They had a really bad draw, I think. They didn't really do anything. Well, this is a good draw. Haha. What a fantastic draw. How could we possibly lose? We have turn 1 Weasel back. Weasel back. Weasel back. Oh, I know how we could lose. We could just miss all our lands. Okay, I don't want that to happen, though. Let's just draw a land this next turn, and we'll be all set. Land me? Oh, yeah. Stomp. We're doing it this way because we want to curve our giant on turn 3, and we want to use Stomp before then. Oh, never miss a land in your life. This is pure skill right here. All skill. There was no luck involved with just only drawing lands when I needed them. I think I've drawn a land every draw step for this entire match, except for this one Barrow Witches. Aw, that's mean. The Foulmire Knight is going to be mean. If only this was a night that I could get back with Barrow Witches. Oh, those are the days. Farewell. I think I might trade off my Bone Crusher Giant. Like, they're going to trade off eventually. Yeah, I'll just attack with this guy. Bone Crusher Giant is really big. I'd rather trade off the Ogre Errant because I can get it back with Barrow Witches. Death Touch is annoying. Ah, the Garenbrig Squire. My dearest Garenbrig. We're fine trading these off. We're going to play Barrow Witches this turn because the next turn we can play Ogre Errant plus 7 Dwarves. It's all planned out. Oh, brutal. This thing can hit for 7 now. Well, that's unfortunate. That's incredibly unfortunate. Why me? Huh. This is not good. This is very not good. Because they have Foulmire Knight coming next turn. This has lifelink. So if I attack with everything, they'll double block this thing. I'll kill the Murderous Rider. That seems fine to me. I really want to get the lifelink off the board. Okie doke. That worked out decently for me. Now they just cast it. So they're holding up something. Otherwise they would have just done the extra draw. So what could they be holding up? They could be holding up a Garenbrig Carver for +2/+2. They could be holding up... What instant speed? Oh, they could be holding up Bacon to a Pie. We're just going to play the second Ogre Errant and the Jousting Dummy. Because then next turn we can Steelclaw Lance, equip the Jousting Dummy, attack, and then play 7 Dwarves post-combat. I think they're going to Bacon to a Pie something, though. Festive Funeral. Well, that is not what I expected, but I'm very happy that that's what they had. Because now I have them dead, pretty much. Or maybe even just literally dead. No, they're not literally dead, because this can gain some life. That's not cool, bro. I'm just going to say it. Not cool. They have given each other the gift of menace. Jeez, losing my Steelclaw Lance feels so bad. Oh my gosh, they did have it. Shoot, I think we lose now. Man, this Reaper of Night owned me. Come on, something that wins me the game. Don't know what it would be, but there's got to be something. That is the downside of drawing a land every turn, is that eventually you draw too many lands. I'm going to start holding it because I don't want this thing to be a flyer. Which I probably should have done with my last land drop too, but mistakes were made. Oh no. That is a hideous foil. We have a merchant now, which is going to get us some decent value. And they have their Reaper. Ho ho ho, yes. Nice. That is sick. And we are going to be in fine shape here. This thing's going to hit us, but we can kill their Death Toucher. We're drawing an extra card every turn. We're definitely going to spend our 3 mana this turn. And we have 2 of that removal spell still in our deck, so we're going to kill... This thing can still block. Let's just kill the Foulmire. Kill that thing. And then we'll just keep this land to discard the Merchant. And we'll hold up 2 mana for looting shenanigans. I mean, for sacrifice shenanigans. Gosh darn it. Oh, so they had to put one on top. Huh. So they have a festive funeral, which they can only use to kill Malevolent Noble. But they're going to probably try to use to kill the merchant. Sure. Is getting the Weasel back into play worth it? Probably not. We'll hold up some sacrifice stuff, the Scalding Cauldron, and then we'll just draw a card and lose 2 life if it comes to that. We'll just take 4, and then we'll just gang block this thing. We know they have Festive Funeral. So they can use 2 damage, so we don't want to just double block. And then they might have another thing, so... Oh, I think the sun moved. Oh, never mind. I mean, obviously the sun moved, but I'm just figuring out whether or not I should move this curtain. We'll take 4, we'll go to 7, then we'll take another 2, we'll go to 5. And then I hope they just don't have Lash of Thorns. Because we can't double block this. I guess we could have double blocked this, but then we take 5. Because we double block this, they make one of them have -2, -2. And then they kill one of them. So, do we Merchant of the Veil here? I don't think so. Maybe I wasn't supposed to block with both of these guys. I could also just sacrifice the Scalding Cauldron. I think I'm going to do that. Now if they use their removal spell, I'm fine. Because now I traded... Yeah. Because now my cards are a lot more safe. So they traded their 5/5 for my 2/3. But they did get a little bit of a 2-for-1 with their Scalding Cauldron. Sir Conrad is actually terrifying. He does 1 damage each time a creature is put into... It dies. Any creature. Even their creatures. Gosh, that's insane. Or a creature is put into a graveyard. We milled Malevolent Noble, and they milled out Muscle. Nice. So we can just start using Conrad, right? Swamp and Curious Pair. Seven Dwarves and Gingerbread Cabin. Double hit. Nice. Boom. And then we just attack with everything and they're dead. Haha! Conrad is so much better than I thought he was. I'd never fully read the card before, but this is actually stupid. Whenever another creature dies or is put into any graveyard, so I just like they were at 6-5. I don't even know. That was insane. What a game! What a match! And I will see you for the finals. And welcome to the finals. We won the die roll again, 3 for 3. Weaselpack? Yes, Weasel Cap, but unfortunately this is still a mulligan. Actually, with a Merchant of the Veil. Yeah, this is still a mulligan. Okay, we'll keep this one though. Get rid of a mountain. And then turn 1 we will... We're going to just Scalding Cauldron on turn 1 because we want to know what we draw before we merchant away another land. Because we want to keep double of both colors if we can. So there, yeah, now we know to haggle away this mountain. And then we'll play our swamp. But the reason we waited is because, like, we drew Sir Conrad. If we had drawn Sir Kara, we would have wanted to keep that mountain. Improbable Alliance. Gosh darn it, this is going to be tricky. Improbable Alliance in a blue-red deck is one of the scariest cards in the format, I think. They just make so many 1/1s. Okay. They don't have Opt, which is nice. I'm almost tempted to just wait on casting Sir Conrad so that I can protect him. Because protecting him from a deal 5 could be super good. But I still think it's probably best to just play him. Because they have to have exactly Searing Barrage. Yeah, now it's definitely correct to just play him. Okay, I was so worried. I was like, what card kills him? I was so calculated, so precise. So precise! Okay, okay, Sir Eleonora. They get another 1/1, which is just dumb. But now we get to equip. Oh. We have to block. They have a removal spell to go with it. Yeah, but we can get it back with our Barrow Witches. Oh no, it gets exiled? You had to have Scorching Dragonfire, didn't you? Gosh darn it, that owns me. That's so unlucky. They had Scorching Dragonfire number 2. I'm so sad right now. Like, that's so dumb. Oh gosh, the sadness. I think we're gonna lose. We're gonna have to joust away the 3-1, I think. Arg. So they didn't use this on their turn, which means they have something. Oh. Well, that's neat. So we're going to take 4, because we're going to activate the castle. Well, that's silly. Their deck seems quite powerful. Like, they have only played, like, great cards. I mean, our deck is pretty good too, but theirs lined up with ours really well this game. Oh. Gosh darn it, are they really turning me into a pumpkin? Yeah, we lose. Arg. That's unfortunate. Their deck is really good. Weaselback seems a little bit worse against the 1/1s. But they're not going to have that card every game, and that card's really hard to beat regardless. Joust seems too high risk. We're just going to play a Red Cap Raiders over it. It's just so hard to find a time to cast the Joust. I would like to play first. Keep in mind that was kind of a poor draw from us, so we can do better this game, and this is a good draw. We do have a lot of X1s, so we are going to struggle against Improbable Alliance. And we don't have any answers in our pool or anything to deal with Improbable Alliance. Oh, thank gosh, it's not Improbable. It's still bad for us, kind of, but not as bad. I like their deck better than ours. I'll just up and say it. Seems a little bit better. Actually, we might just merge into the Veil away. No, we want to save Barrow Witches to get back Conrad. Let's just play our Ogre Errant. Because getting Conrad into play seems really good. We don't really want to be getting rid of spells with our merchant. It is an egg. Ah, the golden egg. Most golden of eggs. That seems like a really bad attack to me. What could they have in their hand that makes that worth it? Because if I just attack with both, I get in for 2 with lifelink. So they might have a Scorching. That's like the only thing that makes that make sense. At least that's all I can think of. Or they just didn't know how Ogre worked. Because, like, I get to hit them for 2 now, whereas before they could have double blocked that thing. We're just going to place our Conrad. Okay, they have a thing to kill that thing. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense now. Now Conrad can do his thing. Go, Conrad, go. Go, 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 Conrad, go. Oh, no. They have Searing Salvo, or whatever it's called. Searing Barrage. Barrage. Okay, good thing Barrow Witches is here. To the rescue. This is why we saved our Barrow Witches instead of going for like cutesy value with our merchant. Because Conrad is great. Because Conrad is great. And things are good. Do, 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 do. I kind of want to kill this quarter monitor. It's so irritating. Man, I really want to see where they scried, but now I know I have to resize the windows. They scried 2 to the top. Of course they did. So we have multiple ways to kill the Vantress. But I think step 1 is getting this Conrad into play. Or is it? Yeah, it totally is. And then next turn we can Burning Yard Trainer on our Smitten Swordmaster, gain ourselves a bunch of life. Or we could play, if we draw a land, we can Scalding Cauldron and Epic Downfall something. Oh no. Oh no. So we're going to Epic Downfall that, and then hopefully be able to Scalding Cauldron the Vantress. So what we're going to do is going to Noble. Epic Downfall, this. Scalding Cauldron. And then we can Scalding Cauldron Vantress. Gosh darn it. Oh my goodness. This quarter monitor has completely owned me this entire game. Like, I would have been in so much better shape if that had been a 1-3. Or just a 2-2. This being a 1-4 has been so good. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're fine. So we can kill the second one, we'll be at 4, and then we can gain a bunch of life with our Burning Yard onto our Smitten. Well, we're dead. Conrad's gotta go. They were able to tempo us off of it. We need to just dig for a removal spell. So we have to kill too many things. We need another Epic Downfall. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, we could like attack Suicide in, but then we die to this thing soon anyway, so let's just hope they don't see it. Which is unlikely. Unfortunate. They had, I think part of it was just the way the draws lined up. Like, their cards just tempoed me the entire game. Like, and the way I drew my removal spells was I drew them kind of after I'd already gotten tempoed. So normally, the way yeah, I'm dead. Normally the way I would answer their flyer, like their 3/3 flyer, is by just killing their flyer and then start playing my Conrad so that their tempo doesn't matter as much. But the way it worked out was I played my Conrad and then I drew my Scalding Cauldron the turn after, which just made it really tricky. So I was like guaranteed to get tempo no matter what I did. Turned out those attacks with the Tome Raider worked out, even though the first one was kind of sketchy, but they knew what they were doing, and a good game opponent. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and yeah, that is going to do it for this draft video. Unfortunately, we were not able to win the finals, but my opponent's deck was very powerful, so I'm not even that mad about that. If you would like to support the channel, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel to join our community here on YouTube, and click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you did make it to the end of the video. In the comment section, leave a hashtag Weaselback Redcap, because that's just fun to say. And to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video, or just hashtag Weaselback if that's too much typing for you, to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video. It's always cool to check the comments and see which folks made it to the end of the video. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so via the Patreon. Patreon.com/NicolaiBolas is the place to go. And you get some pretty cool rewards along the way. I did just post my complete card evaluation tier guide thing. It's a little it's a big spreadsheet. It has all of the cards ranked by color. It's like in colors and grades, so you can like compare across colors, you can compare within a color, and it is really just a cool, useful tool. So any patron at any level gets access to that if you would like to support the channel and get cool rewards at the same time. One of the rewards for being a patron at the $10 per month or more level is to be put in the credits of the video. So thank you so much to all of my patrons that support at that level. Thank you so much to patrons that support at all levels. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, you can check that out at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. There's going to be a link in the description. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.